Hi, this is Dandan from DG Recruit. Going through a recruiter is completely different than working with the internal recruiter and HR team, talent acquisition folks at representing yourself. And when I say recruiter, I mean a headhunter, an external third-party recruiter, aka headhunter. I know it's very confusing because recruiter is kind of a general term, but what I'm talking about is working with external headhunters or recruiters, whatever you want to call it. The reality is that we help candidates in 3 different ways increase their salary compared to going direct and representing yourself. I preface this with saying that headhunters can only help specific people in specific markets where there is a candidate lack. There is a dire need for candidates in which the clients, the companies hiring for this type of profile, need to use a third-party person like a headhunter. They bring us in, we help them fill requisitions. So the 3 main differences when you as a candidate work with a headhunter, and you really need to know this, is number 1, when you represent yourself, and if you're actively working, which is the large majority of what headhunters look for when working with candidates, is we headhunt. We look for people who are actively working, therefore passively looking. For folks who are passively looking, you are not on the job boards day in and day out because you have work to do. And it's really hard for you to schedule all your interviews. It's physically and logistically extremely exhausting to manage, and what people call a totally second job, a side hustle of looking for a job. Looking for a job is a job in and of itself. You hear that a lot. So imagine if you're passive and you're actively working, how the heck are you supposed to do all of this work to represent yourself to the large amount of opportunities available in a timely manner? The reality is, when you represent yourself, you do not have this luxury of time, and you do not have the support from a third-party person who is going to help you do all of that, which is literally headhunters' jobs. Number 2 is you do not have the cheat codes. We do. As headhunters, we know our market. We know what companies pay. We know who are the good players, who are the bad players, who to avoid, what may be a fit, because we're career coaches at the end of the day. We have seen it all. And obviously, this goes without saying, you need to work with a top headhunter. If you're working with a bad headhunter, of course, they're going to be relatively useless and they're not going to help you. They might actually bother you and not be much of a value add. So it's your job as a candidate to network and find the right recruiters for you that is actually knowledgeable, that you clearly have interviewed, and you know why they're good or why you don't want to partner with them. Because the good people can save you a lot of time. Like I said, we have the cheat codes. You may have seen this viral post that was very sad and unfortunate by an internal recruiter, not to be confused with what we do. The internal recruiters are not incentivized, and this is my 3rd point, they're not incentivized to maximize your income. That's not their job. Their job is to recruit you to join their firm, whatever means necessary. And whatever means necessary means paying you a livable wage that is within their budget, that they can get away with, that you will sign on the dotted line. Their incentive is not to juice up your compensation, because there is no point in their contract as an HR person or talent acquisition professional or an internal recruiter, corporate recruiter. These are all kind of the same function. It's not in their job remit to juice up your offer. That's not their job. Their job, again, is to recruit you for their firm. And obviously, there's a benchmark, a market benchmark of what is realistic to get you to sign. But headhunters is different. We are paid a percentage of your base salary as our fee. Keep in mind, and I'm really grateful to one of our favorite followers, Kat Kelly, who mentioned this. Keep in mind, this amount is not coming out of your salary. Like, you are not getting 150K base and then you're paying our fee somehow and you're then getting less than 150K base. That is a crazy misconception that I didn't even know existed, because you as a candidate, you get your salary. Like, you get your price because we represent you to multiple companies. There's a little bit of a bidding war going on, and then you get top dollar. Then we get paid separately from our client. Our client pays us separately. They cut us a check. That's none of your business. That's just literally how we work as an industry, right? So it's like going to the plumber, right? And you live in a big house, a big apartment complex, and something's wrong with your plumbing. Your building doesn't charge you for plumbing. They just pay for plumbing to fix your plumbing, right? Because you live in a big house in a big complex and they take care of that. Same thing with employers. They don't charge you for a headhunter fee. They don't take it out of your salary. They pay for it out of their central budget because this is just a cost of doing business. Every single company uses headhunters. So if you're a candidate and you're in a market where there's tons of headhunters servicing your market, you would be very, very dense if you did not take advantage of this literal free service for you that will help you get all of these ancillary benefits, including a rate negotiator. Let's be honest, you're not going to be an expert at negotiating with potentially a future hiring manager. Most people are not very strong at negotiation when it comes to themselves, headhunters included. When it comes to myself, I'm very bad at negotiating. But when I'm doing it on the behalf of my candidate, I'm empowered, I'm energized. This is what I do for a living. I'm a salesperson. I'm working with multiple companies to juice up your offer. It's what makes this job so fulfilling and fun. Is not only am I increasing my commission, I'm helping my candidate get a really awesome opportunity. So if you're a candidate that is in a market with headhunters, it is your job and your duty to figure out this eco landscape, build relationships with the top headhunters, and get ahead in your career.